It's a do-it-yourself project on this Wednesday morning, and we're going to be learning about wallpaper throughout the morning. Now, apparently, as I know, removing wallpaper is a task that seems daunting. Like I said earlier, I didn't even do it. I just painted over it. But that's because I did not have the right tools and patience, and I'm going to learn more about that. Andrew Lacombe getting a look for us this morning. He's at Lowe's in Marquette Township with more. Andrew?
Good morning, Vicki. Yeah, we're going to prove to you that this is something that you can do. Maybe you'll just have to find a new area of your home to try this on here when you get back from your vacation. Maybe a good project for the rest of the spring. We're at Lowe's this morning, like you said. Shaun is joining us again, and we were just saying that it's something that takes some preparation and patience, but wallpapering can be done.
Definitely. Wallpaper is definitely a project that's something that's available for most homeowners, even if you haven't done before. It's pretty simple to do. We've got the tools, we've got the materials, we've got the expertise to help you make sure you do it right. Like any projects, preparation is key. So depending on the type of wallpaper that you have, if you pull off a corner of your existing wallpaper, you'll probably find that it either pulls away nicely and easily, in which case you only have to remove the existing paste, or if it doesn't, if it sort of sticks or peels or really sort of tears apart and kind of gets to a mess, then you have to think about going with some of the other stronger products that we have. In fact, we've got a little example here of something that you can use to do preparation on wallpaper where you do have to score it. So this tool here is called a scoring tool. It's got a bunch of different teeth going on, and when you roll it around in circles, what it'll do is it'll poke little holes in the surface of the wallpaper like this. So you can see all the little score marks in the surface of the wall here, and what that does is when you have wallpaper that's really adhered very, very strongly, very tightly to the wall, you can use that to basically make holes throughout the paper, and you can use a steam tool or hot water or even some of our chemical removers to help you get it off.
Okay, how long does it take? What kind of a time frame are you looking at removing?
It really depends on the size of the project and the scope of the project. Well, sometimes it's simple, sometimes it can be just a couple hours, sometimes it might be a full day. If you're trying to do a whole room or you're trying to do part of a room, we can help you out, make sure you get it done right the first time. Once you have the adhesive off and the paper off, the existing walls, then you're going to be looking to put a primer on. It's actually not just a regular primer. It's a wallpaper primer made with sizing in there, which the key here is to make sure that you have the sizing on new applications so that the new wallpaper will come off nice and easy when you want it to in the future. That's a really important part of it.
Okay, and then what's the obvious next step here?
The next step is to put on paper, and there's a huge variety of papers. We have a great selection in stock that are available, and a lot of the papers that we have now, most of them come pre-pasted, so they have adhesive on them, and they're designed to go over any surface. So it doesn't need to be just a flat, smooth, perfect wall. It can go over concrete, it can go over drywall, it can go over concrete block, it can go over paneling, all sorts of things, and it can even go over plaster walls that just aren't very attractive. They got bumps and cracks in them. This new paper is really easy to apply, and it can really lead to a really great looking project without a lot of work.
Okay, we're going to be looking at the application of wallpaper coming up in the next half hour, but I was going to ask what is more challenging, removing it or putting it on?
I'd say definitely removing, because it can be a tedious job. Sometimes you get lucky and it comes off nice and easy. Other times it's a lot more difficult, and then it takes a little bit more effort. But application is really simple. It just takes a few simple, easy steps.
Okay, sounds good. We'll be back here later on this morning. Thanks, Shaun, and we'll be going back to the studio now live in Marquette Township. Andrew Lacombe, TV6 News.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew. I'm getting inspired now. Now, earlier today, we learned about removing old wallpaper and getting new wallpaper prepared for installation. Our Do-It-Yourself Wednesday project continues now by looking at how to get that wallpaper up and actually onto the wall. TV6's Andrew Lacombe joins us again from Lowe's in Marquette Township with more. Andrew?
Good morning again, Vicki. I am just really surprised. We were learning about wallpaper throughout the morning and about something that Shaun told us about earlier, how you can paint onto wallpaper. So that's the first thing I want to know more about this, Shaun.
Yeah, that's a really interesting item that a lot of people may not be familiar with, is that they make a wide variety of wallpapers that are designed to be paintable. So you can not only add texture, but also color and depth and variations based on your own preferences. They're really simple to apply, just like regular wallpapers. And we have a wide selection here available in stock. And, almost infinite selection available in as little as a week, so we can find anything you want.
Does it matter what kind of paint you use, or is that anything's different as opposed to painting a wall?
If you just use a standard interior paint, it'll come out fine, but you can use colors and textures and finishes. The combinations that you can get by painting on a wallpaper will give you something that is really hard to obtain, just doing it with paint alone.
Okay, and then of course we have the classic wallpapers that maybe most people might be familiar with, but these are enhanced a little bit.
We do. A lot of the wallpapers that we have, if you're just familiar with the wallpapers from the 60s and the 70s, there is an endless supply of colors, textures. The availability that we have is just incredible. From wall murals to spring colors and tropical decorations, you can really change the look of a room very easily, and it's definitely something that most competent do-it-yourselfers can do, even though a lot of people might be afraid of it. Maybe they don't have a lot of experience with it, or they only have experience from a long time ago. It's really quite straightforward and simple. Preparation is key, like we talked about earlier, but the application is quite simple. Basically, it consists of, once the wall is sized and it's ready for application, you use a tray like this, and you take your roll, you wet it usually for about 15 or 20 seconds, place it on the wall, trim it. We have all the tools that you're going to need to apply and smooth and press out the bubbles, to trim the edge of the paper, the knives, the brushes, everything we have here on stock. And really, if you're not sure about it, come and talk to our experts. We can help you out with the experience that really is going to help you make sure your job is done right.
And what about people that might have some issues with existing wallpaper? What are some fixes they can do instead of replacing a whole wall?
It's a common complaint and something that's really easily solved. There's actually a tool or a material called wallpaper seam repair. It comes in a tube. You can basically just apply it into the seam that's coming apart, press out the bubbles, and it'll solve a problem that a lot of people don't even realize that there's a simple solution for.
Okay, and when you're getting these toolkits, is this stuff that you can use time and time again, or kind of stick it for one project?
Absolutely. A lot of these tools are going to be, useful for many other projects, especially like the knives and the scrapers and that sort of thing. You can use it for any sort of project, or use the ones that you already have in your toolbox. It's definitely, a lot of these tools are multitaskers. They're not just made for wallpaper.
Okay. Thanks so much, Shaun. And if you want to check out this segment again, you can go to our website, uppermichigansource.com. We'll post a video there later today. We'll also have what we were doing earlier this morning, learning about taking wallpaper off the wall and the tools that you use to do that. So we'll have that on uppermichigansource.com later on. And let us know if you have ideas for other future do-it-yourself segments. And we'll be back here again next week. So, Shaun, thanks for being here. We're going to head back to the studio now, live in Marquette Township this morning. Andrew Lacombe, TV6 News.